I'm actually gonna record it, so in case we lose it, I'll post it later and then edit it and whatnot. Okay. We are going live.
All right.
We are live. All right,
Who's CCC Rad T? What's your name?
That's Ben.
Hey, Ben. Nice to meet you.
On.
Hey, Norm.
Welcome.
Yeah. Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect.
How are you?
I'm good, man. All things considered. How about you?
Same. I guess as good as it's gonna get. All right, Chris popped on. All right.
Very cool.
Just to start, I wanted to do this for you guys, for the working or actually non-working musicians right now, as an outlet for you, to build a community for builders, musicians, content creators like Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good,
Hey,
man.
Chris.
That you can share your websites, share your projects, share, if you've written a book, if you have a podcast, whatever it is that you're working on and doing, I wanted to give you guys an outlet and just to have something to basically collectively pull all of our resources together and reach out to the masses this way, to kind of help you guys out, because I think together as a unit, we're stronger as a whole than we are separately, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So we have a couple of live people. We have a couple of people that are watching the stream live, which is great. So if you can share the link to the stream on your Facebook page or whatever social media you have to get more people on. And I guess we can start with, who wants to go first? Give a rundown of what you're working on, what you got going on, what you're doing with yourself. Who wants to go first?
Hey, I don't know if it matters, but it's not 5 yet, at least California time, so people may still be logging on.
Okay. You want to just hang out for a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, now the link that I share to the Facebook, that is the one that was in the email, yes?
No, that's a link for you, not the one.
Oh, that's the join link.
Yeah, that's the join link.
Okay.
We don't want like 100 people on this. What's up, Kilian? Unmute yourself. What's up, John? How are you?
Good, man.
Awesome.
Doing real good.
Coming on.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Hey, forgive my ignorance. Is there a setting that I can do on Zoom where I can see everybody? All I can see is you, Joe.
Yes.
Right-hand corner, in the right-hand corner, right under the X, there's a speaker view. It says speaker view.
And then you hit gallery view.
Or
It's
gallery view.
All right.
Top right, gallery view. And it should be like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Looking down. Hey.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
Got
Hey,
it?
guys.
How's it going?
How's it going, everyone?
Chance, you're muted, Chance. Killing.
Oh, he's low. I can hear him. He's just low.
You guys still can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, you're good.
Someone's echoing.
All right.
So where's the share link for the live view?
I guess it would be on the Just Basic Play page.
Let's see if I can
You
find
go
that.
there now.
Wait, what the hell?
Hey, Devon. Connected to audio. Let's find that.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
Hey.
Hey guys,
Oh, here we go.
what's going on?
Same old. Trying to keep sane in these crazy times.
Yeah. Seriously. Devon, Dino, what's going on, boys?
How much? I forgot I had to download Zoom onto my laptop. I only had it on my phone.
Did you have to download it, or did it just work? It should have just off a website, right?
Well, I clicked on the link, brickworks.zoom, and it gave me a link to download.
Yeah, that's what happened to me too.
Which is fine. It took like 2 seconds to download it.
Yeah, I'm on my tablet, and it just lets me see 4 screens at a time.
What's
I
that?
got to go back and forth.
I got you guys all in like a top row, and I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing.
You got to hit a gallery view on the top right.
Oh,
It'll be a grid of everyone.
there we go.
Makes all the diff.
Yeah, definitely.
Much easier.
Much easier, much better, right?
Nice,
Much better.
More gooder.
Now we're talking bass talk.
Now we're cooking with fire. All right.
This is the first time I've done my hair in about 3 weeks.
Now we're talking bass hang. What's up, everyone? Can you hear me?
Well, the real bass hang. You know what, Steve? I didn't know. I totally forgot. Where are you
Who's
going back
talking?
and forth? How many screens you have?
I have like 50.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
What's 4 times 4 times 5? I don't know. It's like 20 or something.
Hey guys.
Michael.
There's Michael.
Hey. The screen.
I can't see my
Did you change it to grid, Norm?
Yeah, gallery, but I've only got 9.
Oh, I've got 5, 10, 15, 16.
yeah, I've got like a 5 by
17, right, Joe?
3. It's expanding
on
every
a-
time somebody else
If
joins.
you're on an iPad or something, you can kind of swipe sideways, and it'll show more.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing 4 at a time.
I'm like,
You got to hit top right gallery
Exhilarating
view.
right now.
How many bases does it take to fix Zoom?
More than you're here.
He's 7. We don't have 27 yet, so wait till
Don't
I
ask questions you don't want the answer to.
I'll get fixed.
At the risk of sounding paranoid, you guys should probably delete Zoom from your computers when you're done with this.
there you go.
There are some serious security concerns. Not that anybody would hack a bunch of bassists, but after being online with the SBA, probably not a bad idea to take the security seriously.
Yeah, he's correct, 100% correct. Unfortunately, it's a relatively unsecure system, so I'm sure there's probably a couple people on here who have some really solid yet to be released music that we don't want to be early to market.
Hey guys, can you hear me? I'm not sure
Yes.
if I'm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daryl,
Who do we have here? Who's everybody that we have here right now?
it's all the people.
All right, so we got.
Is Tony Paleo.
Yes.
Hey, Paisan!
I am my paisan.
What's going on, everybody?
I'm Darrel in Vegas. Darrel Craig Harris.
Yeah, Daryl.
My new. I've never done Zoom. It's my first experience.
Yeah. I've been doing a couple with friends and family, and it's been cool. It's been all right, especially since you can't see everyone, can't visit anyone's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun experience until I get hacked.
Yeah.
Well, this is my work computer, so.
Yeah.
All right, so Norm went to photo.
You know what? I just I'm actually going to bail for a second and rejoin on my computer so I can see everybody. I'll be right back.
Yeah, right on.
That's a good. Yep.
Is this working? Am I on?
Yep.
Where's
Yeah.
Paul?
Oh, okay. All right.
You're on.
Hey, guys,
This is
I'm
my
gonna-
first time using
I'm
Zoom.
sorry. Once we go live, I'm
Nice
gonna
beard,
share
Dino.
this.
Joe,
I'm one of the
Yes.
you started this.
first time on
I
this
did.
as well.
Hey, Joe, how
The
do we?
first topic. Joe Fazio, you started this. You start the first topic. Go.
All right. Go, Steve.
I have a quick question. How do I share it on the Facebook?
You got to go to Just Basics Facebook page.
Go to my Facebook page and share
Share that
the link.
link.
Yeah.
Just base it. All right, cool. I'm gonna go do that, and I'm gonna share it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there it is.
Boom.
Share.
Whoop whoop. Say hi to yourself.
Get up there working.
I keep. Weird.
Don't unplug it.
Listen to the wife.
Brightness before I
All
turn
right,
the
so
battery.
this is what I wanted to. This is the reason why I wanted to do this, gentlemen. Is that what I wanted to do was I wanted to get a bunch of bass players together and basically build a community, because you guys are truly kind of unemployed. So you're not, you can't make money. So I wanted kind of a community that you could all share, your websites, share whatever projects that you have going on. If you've written a book, if you have a podcast, if you're a content creator, if you're a builder, I wanted to give you guys the outlet to do so. So anybody want to start, or should I just pick somebody and throw somebody on the spot?
Joe, pick.
Huh?
Go, Joe.
All right, so why don't we start with Steve McDonald? Go with you first.
Well, I mean, I'm fairly lucky. I'm sort of a part-time builder. I'm doing like every 6 months.
Get closer to your computer.
In the back, that I'm starting to get ramped up, where I'm going to start transferring. Because right now I'm just working out of the garage, so I'm going to start transferring some stuff over into the shop. Get a better back system. That's probably the biggest problem I've had so far, is the dust collection and all that. But other than that, I'm just still doing the same thing. I'm an essential right now, working at Amazon. Yeah, that's a fun thing. Well, I mean, I'm not hurting right now, but
All right, so share all your social media. Where people can contact you and get in touch with you if they're thinking about putting a bass together or building a bass. You can go.
Oh, I'm on Facebook, SteveMcDonaldBases.com, Instagram. You basically just get a hold of me through Facebook or Instagram. Like I said, I only do like two or three batch builds at a time, and it's I build slow, and I got an 8 month.
It's gorgeous stuff, Steve. Love it.
Yeah.
I tried to do the whole production thing, and quality went down, so I figured I'd go back to my roots and start building how I used to build. Yeah, I mean, right now that I'm working on, and then also I have a sort of a standard series I'm working on with a guy down in Hagerstown right now. I just found a really good painter. I'm going to start doing paint bodies. Focusing more towards like the 32-inch scale, more ergonomic, lighter. And for us old guys that, our fingers aren't working like they used to, our shoulders aren't working like they used to. So that's going to be coming up here in front of us. But just small batches. But
awesome.
Good to see all you guys.
I have a question, Steve. Where are you located?
I'm in Charlestown, West Virginia.
Okay.
Up in the mountains.
Nice.
I have a question. Actually, this may have been asked to you 1,001 times. I know, like Koa wood, for example, is really popular right now in the acoustic guitar world. When you're building basses and instruments in general, do you have a preferred wood or material that you like to use? Like, what's your personal favorite?
My personal favorite, if I was to combine 3 woods, probably be walnut body, cherry top, and ash neck, and obviously a maple fretboard. I'm a maple guy, maple fretboard guy.
Oh, I hear you.
Like ash neck, and I like red oak too. I'm not a big maple guy as far as the neck stuff. But yeah, cherry, walnut, and ash are pretty top for me.
What is it about the walnut that does it for you?
It's very airy and warm, very musical.
That satisfies the guitar nerd in me, so I appreciate that. I'm a huge geek when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Hey guys,
yeah,
I muted all you guys like while you're not talking. So if you have to talk, mute, because there was a lot of feedback and stuff. So if you want to talk, unmute yourself.
I'm waiting to hear from Mike. Yeah, man.
I got you. I got you, Mike. You're unmuted. Go ahead. Oh, you're muted.
He's muted.
If you press and hold the space bar, it should unmute you.
Okay, thanks. Hi. This technical stuff's a bit over my head. If it were made of wood, I'd be a little better at it. But I hope you guys are staying well and safe. Anybody there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all here.
Doing as well as we can, I guess.
Yeah. So, any questions?
Well, Mike, you're in New York. I mean, you're kind of in the thick of it, right? Are you?
No, we're 100 miles north, but it's getting thicker here.
Okay.
The amount of infection and the local tolls doubled this week.
Oh, man.
Still not much, not like New York City, but other than the rampant insanity and people hoarding toilet paper, for which there is no possible excuse, everything seems to be okay here.
That's good to hear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for everybody.
Yeah.
Glad
The
everybody.
liquor stores are still essential, so we can always get whiskey.
Heck yeah,
Pass
man.
the time.
We'll have to cheers a little bit. I got a little Buffalo Trace in a little bit.
Well, tequila.
Oh, I got you.
Cheers.
Oh, okay.
New guy.
Mike, I have a question.
I got a little Buffalo Trace too. Cheers.
Yeah, there you
Nice,
go.
there you go, Wesley. I'm gonna go grab it.
Hey guys,
All right.
it's Tony here. I got a question for Mike, and I was actually talking to Nino about this. Anyone hear about if we're going to talk about the guitar and the geeky aspect, there's a limit in getting ash. Is this true? Did Fender put out a statement just recently they're not going to be doing any more ash instruments?
Swamp ash is a shortage right now.
Swamp ash is short. There's a blight killing the ash trees. All the ones on my property died several years ago. There is one fledgling bloom that's growing out of a stump that I have to go out and spray poison on every couple months to keep the beetles off. But at some point, I think relatively soon, the supply of ash will disappear. It grows back a little bit, and then the beetles attack it and kill it. So they kill off their food supply. Then they die. The ash starts to grow, and since they hibernate forever until there's food, they come back and kill it off. So between the storms in the south, the bad weather, and the emerald beetle, ash is going to be a premium at some point. Not in the next year or two, but relatively soon, I think.
All right, so for the builders, then, like if you want an instrument, an ash body instrument, probably put in your orders now. I'll go to mute.
I mean, you can still buy Northern ash. It's gone up in price a bit. Swamp ash has probably doubled in price in the last year. And it's getting harder to come by lightweight swamp ash. So Southern ash is slightly different than Northern ash as far as I can tell. We've gotten boards that are 12 and 14 feet long. The closer it was to the ground, the softer and lighter it is. Farther up the tree you get, the heavier and denser it gets. partly because it grows in wet ground, and the bottom part stays softer. So you can get quite varying quality out of the ash planks depending on where you get them and what part of the tree they're from.
Is there a wood, Mike, that is comparable to ash?
I was just going to ask that.
I don't think so. They say Empress wood is, which is a sustainable, fast-growing wood. We got a piece in to try. It was 15 inches wide, 8 feet long, and a little over 2 inches thick, and Daniel could hold it up with one hand. Probably weighed about 40 pounds total. But it's so soft and so punky that if you use, like for bolt-ons, if you use a back plate and you screw it in tight, it'll actually compress and cave in around the edges of the back plate. It doesn't sound bad. I'm not crazy about it because it's just too soft. It doesn't screw down well. It pulls apart. But again, it doesn't sound terrible.
Maybe for the new disposable series.
Yeah, play once, throw away, you know. Trying to think of what else we've used that has sort of an ash-like growl.
Mike, have you tried sassafras or catalpa?
Catalpa is, to my ear and experience, as bad as Empress wood, but has less bottom end. There's a lot of catalpa up here, very soft and mushy. I built a base out of it with a solid body, solid catalpa body, Wenji neck, our proprietary Bartolini stuff, and no matter how you turned up the base, you couldn't get any out of it. I ended up just taking it apart and tossing the body. You could probably use it combined with other woods and get away with it. And it kind of has an ash-like look, the pieces we had did. You know, it's not a tight grain like maple. Certainly wasn't grained like mahogany. It reminded me more of ash than anything else, but very lightweight. What was the other wood you asked about? Sassafras? No, we haven't tried that. I've tried hickory. What was the other one? My brain just went away. I'll think of it in a minute. We've tried several other body woods, but usually end up with alder, maple, whatever ash we have left, some walnut, fair amount of good African mahogany, and macquarie, or macore, however you want to say it. Macore is fairly heavy, though. Looks like mahogany, but weighs about twice as much in general. Great sounding, just meaty.
This might be a sin, but I'm kind of curious, so don't take any offense to this, builders, especially you, Michael, but what about synthetics? Is there a chance of using synthetics at all to help compensate for tonal woods? And I'll go on mute.
I have done a base. I did a couple of them for a guy who wanted to try to market them with corian tops. So there's a mahogany body corian top. Was surprisingly nice. Corian's heavy, finish is great, sand's easy. You got to be careful gluing it because the wood will pull away from it since it doesn't expand and contract. There was a company in Australia that made a synthetic wood product. It's been a bunch of years. I don't remember the name of the guitar, but it was like composite squeezed together with some kind of resin. It doesn't smell good. Guitar sounded okay. We were experimenting for fingerboards with this stuff that's actually compressed pine. And they take a 3/4 inch or 1 inch piece of pine, treat it with chemicals, and then squeeze it under pressure till it's down to about the thickness of a fingerboard. It's real hard. It works pretty well. Sounds okay. It smells like rotting mushrooms when you sand it. It's a bit of a problem. And there are some synthetics that work. I'm not crazy about them, but that's just personal. There's no reason not to use them if they work. We've done a few chemically treated like quilt tops that are resin impregnated. And when you sand it, it smells like polyester. The dust isn't really any remotely way good for you. But they sound okay. They work fine. Just depends on what you want to do. At some point, you know, trees are going to run out. Wood's a somewhat renewable resource, but it is not endless. So either people have to find new tone woods or new supplies, things that don't cut off the world's oxygen supply. And then we'll go from there.
You know, I heard the same thing about ebony being an issue and so forth. And, you know, I agree with you that I think builders should start to look into alternative materials. Being an ex-graphite guy for years, don't get me wrong, I love my ash bodies, I love my ebony boards. That's my combination that I like. Do think we should take these things into consideration. And, you know, I don't know if Devon or Steven or Nino have considered any of these things, and I'll go to mute.
I have not. I haven't really looked into any kind of composites or anything. Being that I'm such a small builder, I build maybe about a dozen or 20 bases a year. It's not something I really thought of looking into, you know.
I've experimented with a bunch of woods, all the ones that Michael mentioned. And I even tried a little, so there's, they make decking material out of this synthetic, and it's actually pultruded. It's like an extrusion, and so it's very fibrous, and it's really interesting because if you do the tap test on it, it has a lot of resonance to it. I was surprised. It just rang out. But the problem is with these is that they have a lot of voids in them. So it's hard to get a solid piece where you can actually do a good route and not have this huge like cavity in the middle of it when you're working on it. And I just gave up at that point. I mean, if they could solve that, great. That's good. I liked, I did something out of Empress wood a number of years ago, or Polonia, whatever you call it. It was really good, but exactly like you said, Michael, when I put the bolts into the bolts of the neck, it just compressed that right down. So I would recommend if you try something like that, maybe a set-in neck would be the way to go on something like that. But I liked the sound a lot. It was really open and very responsive.
You can dowel the areas around the neck bolts.
Sure.
So you could drill it out, put in a 5/8 or a 1-inch maple dowel. So you'd show the plugs.
Yeah.
You know, but it glues up well enough. You could certainly do that and use it to hold the neck in, and that's what we ended up doing, is doweling it with something harder, doweling where the pickup screwed in, the bridge, all that stuff.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I got a quick wood question for you guys. It's not a typical wood that you see, or I haven't seen on bass guitars, is Pernambuco wood. If you could use that on bass guitar.
Absolutely. It's lovely. It's expensive. They make $1 million violin bows out of it, cello bows. Yeah. I did.
Raised my question was like, it's my favorite wood for bow material, but I've never tried it on an instrument itself. But yeah, it is expensive.
I did for Wendy and Lisa when they were playing with Prince. Wendy Melvoin, I did a baritone guitar and a 5-string bass for her that was a composite maple and Pernambuco neck through. One of them had a Pernambuco top. The bass sounded incredible. And then Prince wanted us to paint it sort of a cream color. And I had initially refused to do that because the wood was so pretty. And Wendy said, you either paint it or someone else will. Since you build it, you should paint it. So we ended up painting it cream color and putting on these bright pastel paper face dots on the fingerboard and lacquering over everything. But it sounds great. It works pretty well. And just other than being expensive, it's not terribly heavy, not like ebony, but great responsive wood, very resonant.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. 'Cause I always wondered what that would be like, on an actual guitar.
It's nice.
Another wood, and it's a lot like ash, and there's heavy versions and light versions of it, like depending on your board, is Padauk, that bright orange redwood. Sounds really bold when you have a nice light piece, but if you have a heavy piece, then it just it gets way too thin sounding. But the light stuff is just incredible. But it stains everything in sight. I mean, I made a player a bass out of Padauk, and literally his sweat would pull out into his shirt and make his shirt turn pink color when he played it. So it's hilarious, but it'd be fine if it's finished, but it's really good wood.
That's why we stopped doing oil finishes. Rock and Roll Sweat eats through an oil finish in no time. I got a shirt back from somebody, very expensive stage shirt with ruffles and fancy stuff all over it with the red outline of one of my basses on it. He was not happy.
That's hilarious.
Padauk is a great sounding wood, especially if you blend it with other woods like a Padauk and alder body. Babinga works the same now that it's not on the CITES list. Great sounding wood. Bloodwood is really nice. Bloodwood and Padauk are very similar. Bloodwood usually heavier.
I had two Padauk neck basses, and I thought they were both on the heavy side. And I don't mind, I've got some meat in my bones. I don't mind a little bit of a heavier instrument, but I felt that the necks were definitely droopy a little bit. Sounded great, but a little bit on the heavy side.
Yeah, it depends on what you do on the body for balance.
How about Okume?
Absolutely lovely. Just a great sounding wood, lots of bottom end without being too heavy. Looks a little like mahogany.
Yeah.
I made a couple of short scales out of Okume that are spectacular. And for a 120 low B with a 30-inch scale, has a pretty serious bottom end. Very nice wood.
I have no idea how many people are watching right now, but I'm absolutely loving every moment of this conversation. Discussing the validity of Okume is a dream come true for me.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I just find it fascinating, honestly. I mean, I've spent my entire life fetishizing high-end instruments, and I've fortunately had the opportunity to play a couple really nice pieces. And it's so cool to get to hear from some experienced individuals who've actually constructed the instruments from said material give their commentary on it. So I don't know how many people are going to love it, but you got at least one right now.
This is the ultimate bass nerd hangout. That's what it is. I love it.
Hey, realize we've got time running down right now. So Jon Moody was nice enough to let us know that time's running down. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Can we
do what I can, Tony.
Can we extend this, Joe, or is it done in?
I just tried to, and I just got a notification that I've only got like a 40-minute feed for some reason, unless I upgrade, and won't let me upgrade.
Yeah, it says you got about 2 minutes, 20 seconds. We can certainly do this more often. You don't have to do it,
Can we do a quick rundown when we were talking when we got sidetracked, which was great, but sorry to bogart Joe, but let's do everyone's real socials if we can.
Yeah, everybody give Kilian, you're doing lessons, Rudy, your podcast, Nino, your basses. Give everybody, just give all your information so at least everybody's got it.
Why don't you call names and let them do it that way?
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right, Rudy, go first.
Can't hear you, Rudy.
Unmute your microphone.
No, yeah, it might be maybe phone.
He's not muted. He's unmuted. I just don't think we're getting audio feed.
Well, anybody that doesn't know Rudy Sarzo,
has been living under a rock.
Yeah, Rudy. No,
Yeah, if you don't know Rudy-
So Google Rudy Sarzo and you'll find everything.
Yeah. Well, we're running
Next-
out. It's great
yeah,
to
next
see you
name.
guys. Hopefully we'll see you all again soon.
Love all you guys. Be safe.
Yep. Stay well.
Just one little quick up. There's a podcast between Jon Moody and Steve Araujo and myself called The Big Bottom. We talk about our conversations we've had the last couple of years, and then Steve's the bass hang, and now we are bringing it. We're doing it like once a week ourselves.
But I'd love to talk to anybody and everybody.
Anybody, please join.
Well,
Nino Valenti basses, Michael Tobias basses.
Take care, guys.
Devon. All right.
Chris and Wes have
Hi,
a
Dino.
channel called the Bass Channel on YouTube.
That's awesome. Bass channel is awesome. Love it.
Thank you very
so
much. Dino, good to see you again, man.
Good to see you, dude.
Dino, stop talking so much, okay? You're
Yeah.
kind of bothering me.
I'll mute myself.
Yeah, hold it down.
Norm, what Norm, your new project that you have going on right now?
Yeah, Grooves and Sushi. It's on YouTube for your binge watching pleasure.
Kilo on the bottom. Kilo, I'm sure you've seen his cover videos.